Today we are discussing about the Gupta Empire, that was the golden age in India, time period 320 to 550 century era. Revival of native Indian rule. From 500 years prior to 320 century era, India ruled by foreign invaders, Greeks, Persians, Scythians, Kushans. By 320 century era, Gupta dynasty creates a strong government capable of repelling barbarian invasions. Chandragupta first Maharaja or great king, ruled 319 to 335 century era, unifies through strategic marriage and conquest. Samudragupta 335 to 380 century era, Chakravartin or wheel turner circuit of conquest like the sun, conquered more than 20 kingdoms but reinstated his defeated enemies as tributary kings, skilled statesmen, built army and even navy. Devotee Hindu worshipper of Vishnu, revived ancient Vedic rites such as horse sacrifice, yet tolerant of Buddhism, wealth rightfully acquired, not oppressive. Great patron of literature and arts, poet and musician himself, revived Sanskrit as a scared language. Chandragupta II, 380 to 413 century era, built coast to coast empire, emphasized alliances and strategic marriage, created new western capital Ujjain, height of empire, master of compromise in politics, diplomacy, religion, tolerance of Buddhism and Jainism, built monasteries and gave government posts to religious minorities, built efficient bureaucracy. Chinese pilgrims report absence of corporal punishment, poll or land taxes, fixed salaries for soldiers. Later emperors, generally considered less brilliant than Chandragupta I and II and Samudragupta. Possible exceptions: Skandagupta crushed rebellion of Pushyamitra tribe and was able to hold off threat of invading Huns. War, however, drained empire's wealth, contributing to decline. Internal dissension increased. Huns returned and overran empire by 500 century era. Gupta kings resisted until last reign 540 to 550 century era. Now I am discussing about the Gupta social order. Guptas, despite tolerance, were profoundly conservative in social questions, upheld caste system, peasants forced to stay on their land, no mobility, emphasis on harmony and balance, economic complexity, subcaste or jati based on occupation, connected rise of guild organizations which supervise an industry's wages and prices, provide welfare for needy members and families. Economy: Gupta kings empower merchant Vaishya caste, elaborate coinage system developed, trade expands, flourishing trade with Rome, China, Arabian world. It many city marketplace surge, but is still essentially an agriculture economy. Feudal pattern begins as king make land grants to Brahmins. After Gupta period, these lands grants are increasingly made to Kshatriya or warrior caste. Advances in agriculture: iron permits clearing of Ganga's river valley for farming. Intellectual advances: translation of works of Greek astronomy in Sanskrit. By 499 past, future planet locations calculated accurately, solar year measured, geography, world longitudes redrawn, beginning in Ujjain instead of Alexandria. Math: World's first effective treated sizes on square and cubed roots, numeral and decimal system developed, which spread eventually to Europe. Philosophy, formal logic developed. Medicine, free hospitals provided advances in bone setting, and pharmacy soon adopted by Arabs and Greeks. Great universities of Nalanda and Vikramashila established received influx of students from all the world. Gupta art. Tolerance led to flowering of Buddhist art under Gupta dynasty. Distinctive Gupta Buddhist style figures were elongated, idealized faces had distant meditative gazes, express ideals of restraint, discipline, harmony. Gupta art, characterized by a turning inward and ability to communicate higher spiritual status. Most famous paintings of from are from Ajanta caves supported by a kingdom allied with the Guptas through marriage, usually understood as part of Gupta legacy. 29 caves in horse shaped rock ravine. Oldest caves may date to 2nd century before uh, century era, while other caves made as late as 7th century era, most made in 5th and 6th century, sponsored by Gupta allied Vakataka dynasty. Some caves seem influenced by Tharved Buddhist tradition on representing the Buddha. Above is from a series of didactic paintings based on Jatak. Later caves traces transition to Mahayana Buddhism. Gupta art Mathura style. Early and influential style of representing the Buddha emerged from North Indian city to Mathura. Abhya Mudra, broad shoulders, spread feet, elongated body, hair shaved or in flat sphere. Gupta architecture, the stupa. Originally, the Buddha's burial mound function was remembrance, simply clay mound, gradually becomes site of worship, more elaborate form with spires, gates, walkways, and sculpture. Gupta renovated and elaborated upon stupas from Ashoka's age. This picture is related to parts of the stupa. Hindu temple. Imagine it as houses, resident and owner is deity. Priests are living servants. Sculptures adorning temples often tell stories about the deity inside. Murtis, images of a deity meant to inspire reverence. Thank you.